What it do, homies? It's your boy David. I'm back today. We have finally arrived to some more Divide music. This time we checking out his MADARA song War, and we got Sinewave Fox here. Okay, so Sinewave Fox is another person that can also hang. You know what I'm saying? Especially if this is as metal as I think it's going to be. I'm excited. Let's go ahead, shut up, and turn it up, baby. Let's go. Okay. Okay, so it's the only way you could possibly start a song like this, right? Remember, any type of boss character isn't a boss character unless they have a choir singing behind him. You know what I'm saying? Like the first thing on a checklist for being a boss or a badass character is you got to go hijack some angels. You got to hold them captive and they got to sing something in Latin. And if they don't know Latin, they better be humming something and it better be harmonious as hell. Okay. And then you go kidnap Hans Zimmer's whole entire crew and you have them play some strings and you make them very, very menacing. Okay. And then the drums come in and it's all over. I love this already. Really kind of got that cinematic almost like the beginning, like an opening character that's just waking up about to destroy you, right? This is that opening I just came out of my coffin type of intro. All right. Something's coming.
But the end of the world is yours to determine. Breathe, no need to be saviors. Sing amongst all your failures. You will pay that price. So why do you feel such pain? Don't you know every turn has a consequence? I can't ignore. Nothing will soon remain. Homes will burn, falling as rings lead to the ground. I can't ignore. Prepare for war.
Now, I don't know who is that's doing the growls, right? Because I believe Soundwave Fox is also capable of that. But there is a certain contrast that I'm hearing in this, right? Because I've heard enough metal to know what like hopeful and heroic and chaotic and destruction sounds like, right? The thing that's causing the most contrast in here when the hook is going on is kind of like that rise. I think it might be the choir. It's rising up, but the way that it's rising gives you that sense of heroicness, but then the guitar tone and the drums bring you back down to let you know, yo, I'm a teddy bear, but I come with the straps, right? Because we got to think about MADARA, right? MADARA is, I mean, he's not necessarily evil. He just have a different way of approaching things, but he himself still wants peace, right? So, but he's a badass dude, you know, like dude's not the person to be messed with, you know, and he absolutely will go at any lengths to do what he needs to do. So how do you represent that, right? That contrast that we're hearing in that hook is how you represent that. That's why I'm loving this. At least that's what I'm thinking when I hear it. Like it brings us back down.
You will be the one that will burn down everything I made when nothing's ever gonna burn out. Or I am waiting for specific speakings. Of the milk rise appear to be it. I'll give you another choice. I can see you. At the very end, begging for mercy.
listen, see, hear, smell. Smell the letter 7. Okay. Look, I could be tripping, but that had some sense of death metal vibes to it. Okay. Now I got like maybe 1, 2, or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 death metal reactions. And while it is a little bit much for my senses to overload, there are some things that I've learned, and I've been checking out this band called what are they called? Lorna. I forgot what the next part of it. But the one thing that stood out, and I've heard this in other death metal bands, especially in the breakdown, is kind of like the offbeat words coming out. Like when he said "ow" before he went back into it. I love that because it's far. It's not necessarily far removed, but it's almost like a section of the song is just carved out to put this one part in there before it continues. I've heard that so many times when it comes to death metal, and how fitting is it, right? I guarantee you that if Madara was on that field whooping the whole entire Shinobi Alliance, you best believe he was listening to some type of metal. It might have been death metal because people died out here, right? By the meter ton, actually. I love that. I got to listen to it again. I really love that part.
We'll burn down everything I made. We're not the same. We're gonna burn down. We're all awake across the sacred speaking. Of the mouth of lies I've been debating. We'll give you another choice. I can see you at the very end, begging for mercy. You choose to be burdened by the loss and the weight of pain. Well, don't you know every choice has a consequence? I can't ignore. Nothing will soon remain. Your bones will burn, falling as springs to the ground. I can't ignore. Prepare for
So, okay, I think that was Soundwave Fox with the grunts and oh my goodness, I love that part. I love how it just comes out. You don't expect it, and it just comes. I can't get over that scene. Okay, the entire time when he was singing the song, I can't ignore, right? So think about, I can't ignore. So if you ever come across something to where you're building up like a resistance and everything, right? You building this resistance, and then all of a sudden you come across something like, obviously you can't ignore, like your bottle just the bottle tops, the top of the bottle just kind of pops off, and you just start literally exploding. Just taking the lyric that I can't ignore, and then I'm sitting there thinking, just applying to the musical structure of when what I believe Sinewave, right? Because I know Divide Music can also, I think he can grow that low. I don't think he could scream that low though, but I know he could grow that low. That was just Madara, right? That he can't ignore, and this is the result of that. And that think if I just take that song, if he titled this "I Can't Ignore," right, and you just listen to the whole thing, that's what it sounds like. Just tension that's just built up. God, I can't get over that middle section. I'm telling you guys, that might have had God. Now, when it comes to the mix, one of the things that I think leads to something that sounds extremely balanced is when there's not a certain musical element that's like peering out over the next production, not production, that's peering out over the next instrument. Everything sounds super blended in well, right? But there are certain things that producers and mixers and engineers can do to kind of heighten our sense of perceived loudness. And the better that you can do this, right, the more sought after you are. Now, there are probably times in this song where you thought it was louder, but it really wasn't. A lot of this could be accented by just making the drums hit that much more punchier, or in this case, what we saw there earlier, sometimes you could just cut out, like introduce silence and then bring back in those transitions. That's why that out hits so much harder. Two things it had working for him. One is that it came with the drum, right? So already, right? The silence that had it before it, right? And then the intensity of it. And it had another thing, and the suddenness of it. Like all of that is what led to that point, and it's just sticking out because I wasn't expecting that. You done good, Divide. You done good. Now I can sit here and talk about production and stuff like that for a very, very long time. But I'm pretty sure most of you guys have skipped past this. But that was amazing. That was absolutely amazing. That's the end of this video. If you enjoyed the content, leave a like and subscribe. Dave's out.